What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Domo.
And I go by the name of Yoshiko.
We sit with entrepreneurs and artists across disciplines to share their stories, insight, and gems. Their journey will inspire you to think about community and your own narrative, how it shapes who you are, and what your legacy will be.
You're listening to No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
No Blueprint.
You are listening to No Blueprint.
How did your family get to Seattle?
My parents met on the East Coast. And my dad was married. Yeah, my dad was married before he met my mom. He had a previous marriage. So I have a half brother, basically. You know? But my mom and him, they met. Then I was born Hartford, Connecticut. Then Phoenix, second sister was born, and then we're in Seattle a year or so after that. So I've been here since I was roughly 3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
What brought him to Seattle?
I think it was really all about opportunity for the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jobs. Yeah, job opportunity. I think who knows, housing. I mean, it was a different time. That was a different time. But Seattle there was a point when Seattle was just kind of like this little attraction, like employment hub attraction. So yeah, I think that's what it was. I thought it was kind of like Seattle. It was just like a land of opportunity, considering what my dad did. So yeah.
What did your dad do, if you don't mind me asking?
My dad was a entrepreneur and very good at what he did.
Okay.
I have memories of my dad selling cars, my dad selling furniture, my dad working at a jewelry spot. He had his own shoe shine business.
Okay.
He built the stand, and I remember just days of like going to Doubletree Inn, which was like where like a lot of the football players would stay, right? And my dad would have his stand there, and the players would come down, get their shoes cleaned up, or before they would leave, or before they go have their little bite to eat, and then they go. So my dad had his own sausage out for a while. Played around in stocks for a little bit. I mean, my dad was just really good at what he did, you know what I mean? And he was just able to raise a family and do that at the same time.
So serial entrepreneur.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
If you're roughly the same age as I am, you pretty much grew up in that household where like dad or the uncle was pretty much the hustler, you know what I mean? Entrepreneur. If you're that black kid, you definitely know somebody was seriously hustling, and that was my dad. He was just good at it.
Yeah, that's dope. What about your mom?
My mom just she homeschooled me for a while until the other siblings were born and they got a little older, and then pretty much when everybody was in school, my mom basically was part-time at the house and then part-time a school bus teacher for the Muslim school, which is across the street from Nova. Okay. And they're still there.
Yeah.
Mom, my mom would do her little work off and on, but not that much. My dad was pretty much like the bring home the dollars. I'm not going to say bring home the, the bake. Nope, I'm not going to say that. Right.
Okay. All right.
Bacon, that's what it is. Bacon, not bring home the bacon.
No bacon.
No bacon.
No bacon.
No bacon. No, but no, my dad was seriously, that's, my dad pretty much brought, he did, he took care of the house, and my mom just took care of the house.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I know we've spoken before, so I know that you have roots in Louisiana.
Yeah, my mom is from a small town called Newellton, Louisiana. The Chase family. The only living siblings I have, living right now, is I have my grandmother my grandma, and she's the last of the elders, pretty much on my mom's side.
Okay.
But pretty much gathering information right now. My little sister's doing a lot of that right now.
Nice.
Which is really good. Because I get to see, she'll send me pictures while I'm working of like, look what I found. Some random picture. I'll be like, whoa. So we're learning a little bit more and more about our family. Yeah, like a real one, like a real one. So
there's always one in the family that.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And while the baby girl is the one that is constantly archiving.
Yep.
She archives for the family. I archive for food.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking
of great.
And speaking of food, when did you first fall in love with food?
I've always been around food, right? In some shape or form. But falling in love with food, I will say, was when I got my very first job, and it was before I got the job.
What was the job?
I walked into this restaurant called Palomino, which is still exists downtown.
Oh, downtown.
I walked in, and I was just amazed by everything that was going on. Like they had, they got the rotisserie going, they got the bread station, they got open kitchen so people can watch you while you're cook, and once in a while the cooks will like wave to the kids or say hi to the guests, and I was just like, whoa, I kind of want to do this, and I applied. I met the Chef Niall. Shout out to Chef Niall. I got the job, and it just showed me a totally different look on what food was. I was like, oh wow, this is what food looks like on a bigger scale, production scale. So yeah.
Okay. How old were you at the time?
18.
Okay. Fresh out of high school?
Roughly. Just about to get out of high school.
What high school?
I went to Ingram High School.
Ingram.
Class of 1991.
Okay. So you were bussed.
I was bussed and dropped off.
Okay.
Because we didn't live that far. At that time, I was living in the North End. I was right caught in the middle, basically on the borderline of either going to Ingram or going to Nathan Hale.
Okay.
So I could bus, bike, get a ride home, either way. So it was like a combination of that.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. Is there anything that you learned while you were there that you still hold on to now?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like working there was really learned. It was basically cooking 101. It was really like, this is how you make stocks. This is how you do sauces. This is how you blanch pasta, and learning how to brine and basting, and it was all the basics that I needed to learn in order to move around in the kitchen, and in order for me, if I wanted to move forward, I need to learn these tools. And it was just really, it was a really good learning lesson, to a point to where I stayed with them long enough that allowed me to transfer to LA with that. So it was good. And I knew I wanted more too. I knew that after a couple years with them, I was like, okay, what's next? Like seriously, what's next? So I remember taking a job at the W Hotel at the time, and they had a chef there, John Sundstrom. He was actually Food and Wine Chef of the Year, and so I took a job working there, doing graveyard shift, and then working at Palomino during the day. So I was crazy. I was like, man, I'm getting it in. I'm learning.
Wait, I'm learning. Simultaneously?
Palomino during the day, and then whatchamacallit, the W at night. I knew I wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
And so I got a job at the W Hotel, and that was cool. And that was really different. Like this was like hotel production compared to restaurant production. Two totally different things. And it's graveyard. So I'm going in at 10 p.m. basically to deal with the last run of happy hour. You know, people coming in, hanging out, you know, partying. So 2 hours of that. And then after that, it's all room service.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
So it's room service. So honestly, you're in there by yourself, prepping for breakfast, you know, cracking a lot of eggs, dicing a lot of fruit, and, you know, with random orders here and there. Oh, I remember steamed edamame with salt. I remember, oh man. You know, like there was just, and it was, you know, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just quiet, you know. I think, is there anything that, oh yeah, the one thing that stands out was working one night.
Yeah.
And come to find out, Janet Jackson was staying at the hotel that night.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the W have.
They have like this really like, you know, you think they're with
clientele.
they call themselves a W because really they are the W government security agency.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's so like, you know, suits and little wireless mics and earbuds, and you know, everything's very, very discreet. And I remember I think I made her some fruit and something else. They took it up to her room, you know, but this is, you never knew that. Like it was just so quiet.
Listen,
you know, so
like Janet Jackson, what? Janet Jackson.
I was like, can I get an
Right.
autograph or something? Can I get like a little fist bump? Like, hey, Janet J.
I got your food.
1841, man, you know,
Right. Why Los Angeles?
Okay, so a really close friend of mine, he's an actor, talented brother, was like, yo, I'm going back to New York for a little bit to go, you know, see what's up about acting. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he came back and he was like, I'm gonna go down to LA. I'm like, all right. And he's like, you should think about going. And I'm like, I don't know. And he called me up. He was like, yo, I'm gonna make my decision of either New York or LA, and wherever I end up, that's where I'm going. I was like, okay. So wherever he ended up, he chose LA, and I was like, great, this was good, because I felt like I really needed to learn more, and I felt like at that time Seattle was just different at that time for food, and why not go to LA, you know? So I packed my bags, threw my stuff in a U-Haul, drove down, moved into with my homeboy for a while, and LA was good. But I mean, I had a plan, you know, I really did have a plan. My plan was to get better at cooking, have opportunity to teach kids cooking, and travel, and literally did all three of those things.
Yeah. What year was this in LA?
I moved to LA 99, 2000, right?
Okay.
Yeah, roughly about 2001, 2003. That's when I pretty much got settled in with where I was living, and I got my first teaching job with the kiddos, Robertson Community Center. I should have brought my photo album. I was just looking at. I just pulled it out of the storage. I decided to just pull it out just to look at, wondering what all those little black kids are doing right now, you know.
I saw a picture of a cookbook.
Yeah,
We'll post it.
The cookbook, the famous little cookbook. That was fun times.
I read somewhere that you were a chef for Kanye.
Oh my goodness, that was a quick stint, man.
Okay.
Real talk. This is pretty much how it went. This is how it went. I was a sous chef at a restaurant called Luna Park.
Okay.
Really good restaurant, just a few blocks away from the house, so I could just walk to work or bike to work. It was great. And right around the corner on Pico Boulevard, there's Roscoe's, the original Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. There's my homeboy 333rd. There's a record shop I met. There was a gym and that famous liquor store that was in Minister Society.
Okay.
You know that
I know exactly.
That's what I'm talking about from
I know
that scene.
exactly what you're
from that
talking
scene,
about.
right?
Yes.
So I'm right around the corner. So that liquor store in my house is right here.
The one that O-Dog robbed.
Yes.
Okay.
And mind you, this neighborhood is pretty nice. But mind you, this is the exact same neighborhood that was pretty much burnt to the ground
LA riots.
From the riots,
Yeah.
right? So this neighborhood is still in the process of like rebuilding, right? And so, but there was a gym ran by my homeboy David, great dude. We ended up just becoming friends, and that guy was he got me in the gym, but this guy was training like celebrities and stuff, and then he found out that I cooked, and we just basically kind of did like this little thing. He trains him, I feed him. And that's kind of how we were doing for a while. And then who did I meet? I met a woman that he was training. And come to find out, she was Kanye's stylist at the time, or one of his stylists at the time, or whatever, right? And so I had a meeting with her, and I started delivering food to her. So check this out. Literally, I'm up at 6 a.m., get to work, do lunch, then go home, prepare meals to drop off to a couple clients, right? So during this whole process, she was like, I style for Kanye. How would you feel about the idea of an introduction? He would love to get some food because, you got to think about it. At that time, and this is, I think, the main reason why I think I got the gig was because of this. One, she was black. 2, I'm black. 3, the dude training her, he was black. Kanye's black, just kind of wanted to, I think it made sense, right? And at that time, there probably wasn't, who knows what, outside G Garvin's or who knows, I don't know who was, there probably wasn't really a scene for black chefs, And so they gave me, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we set up a meeting, went to his house, broke bread for a little bit, gave me a little tour of the crib that he was in. And it pretty much was basically I'm up at the crack of dawn, even earlier now. So I'm up at the crack of dawn, make his breakfast, get it to my homeboy, drop it off, or I drop it off, and then I go to my job, get lunch ready, get his lunch ready, have my homeboy come pick that up, and he drops it off. Then I get off work, shop, then go home, prep his dinner, and take it to him wherever he's at. And I did that for a little while. And it was cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm going to just say this right now. At the end of the day, to live the posh life is interesting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing what you can do. Straight up.
Right place, right time as well.
I'm just saying. And so it's a lot of people are like, oh man, what? I'm just like, look, relax. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still working.
I meant you know what I'm saying? I'm still cooking, blah, blah, blah. I did not leave my job or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding the bike. It was just basically, brother thought I was cool. He was cool. Yeah. We worked out a deal, found out what he liked to eat, found out what he ate on the road, and I just did my best to make food for him that was somewhat healthy. Yeah. Compared to what he was eating on the road. And so this way, he, if he's buried, he stays in the studio for 12 hours, at least he'll stay in there and he'll eat right. Because look, if you have friends that are actual real musicians, musicians, you already know how they are, right?
Trash diets.
They bury themselves in the studio and they don't go nowhere. Yeah. So it's just and that's pretty much what it is.
Then especially on tour.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you said, I connect that to you talking about the personal trainer and the diet, right? And that connection is so important because, as we know, you can train all you want to, but if your diet is still trash, you're not doing enough sit-ups to put down Big Macs every day.
Shout out to Paul McCoy, my homeboy Paul McCoy. Man, my man, he helped me in the clutch. He was he was the other trainer at that gym, but he did the deliveries.
Real friends,
straight up. Shout out to Manny, my Manny. That's my homeboy. That was his dog, a Mastiff, beautiful gray. When he stands on his hind legs, his jaw. The bottom of his jaw sat right here on my head. That's how tall he was. He was so cool. When he's on his hind legs. So shout out to Manny.
And you are not a short dude.
And I'm not a short dude, so like he's adorable. Like Manny's was the homie. He made he sit over in his little corner. He never act up.
Yeah,
and he'll know. Just be like, what?
Yes.
Look, I run this gym, so shout out to Manny.
Yes, you were on a couple of different shows cooking.
Yep. So the crazy thing is, my last couple years in LA, a friend of mine ran like this little catering company and got picked up to do Cirque du Soleil, right? Mm-hmm. That come to LA every year. And I got picked up and I was like, yeah, I'll do that job. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Cooking for Cirque du Soleil?
Or
like
performing.
For the performers.
Okay.
No, definitely not performing.
I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry, I love y'all and everything, but I would be on the trampoline right now practicing. This would definitely be a web call. This would not, okay. I'll be in my little, doing my bouncing up and down, doing the questions and answers.
We're about to say, stop right there. Cirque du Soleil. I didn't read about that one.
Yeah, so Cirque du Soleil came to Seattle. They come to, they pretty much, how they come, right? So
yeah.
So we got, my homegirl got to choose a company, they picked her up. So we would prepare food for the performers and for the VIPs that come to see the shows.
Yeah.
So pretty easy. Go up Inglewood, we had the Coliseum, blah, 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 show up, do our job. And then the manager that was overseeing it basically offered me an opportunity to travel with them on their new tour, and I was like, "Hex, yes,
because I wanted to travel, I wanted to cook.
Exactly,
I'm here with it. I'm following.
Ultimate job, right?
Yes.
Ultimate job, like the ultimate job to like be gone. You're on the road for probably 2 years, like minimum, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. So what we got to do? Well, we'll start in Seattle. We'll meet up in Seattle, and we'll go from there. And I'm like, sweet. I pack up all my stuff. I end my time in LA, and I'm like, I was kind of like at that time. I was like, what am I doing? Am I gonna stay in LA, become an LA resident, or what am I doing? But this just took me back home.
Yeah.
So I come back home. They come, they show up, we meet up, we have a conversation, and I didn't get the job because they ended up basically cutting a good chunk of their tour because at that time, that's when the economy was tanking.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So I ended up coming back. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm back in Seattle, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So I work, I found a really great restaurant, which really helped me focus on my food. Couple years down the road, I decided to take a year off, travel, went all through Western Europe, just kicked it. It was nice. It was what I needed. Learned a lot about food. Came back, and then pretty much, got a couple opportunities to do a couple TV things, through my job, and then that opportunity got me another opportunity. So it was both times were fun.
Yeah.
I will say that. If I ever had the opportunity to do food journalism, but a little more in depth, like what I did with Vice, I would so do it.
Yeah. Are you more of so I've seen you do some stuff for Vice. I've seen you do stuff for Munchies. Are you more, is the YouTube Vice thing, is that more your speed rather than television, or?
I don't, the thing is, I've never attempted to approach television at all. That was just a thing where the competition I got on because my friend, basically best friend, his schedule didn't work out. Yeah. And so they told me, so I went and applied.
Yeah.
And I got on the show. I got past, made it to the 24. Then you guys saw it, everybody saw it from there.
Yeah.
Made it to semis. I was cool, it was fun, had a good time. I'm like going back to work. Cool.
Yeah.
But the producers from that show thought I was cool enough, and that's how I got the gig through Vice to do the Munchies gig.
Yeah, which was dope.
Which was dope.
Super dope.
Which, I was nervous as heck because it's like the first 2 days we're in Seattle. We're at the Pike Place Market, and it's bad enough people already. So I'm already dealing with the whole craze from the show, right?
Yeah.
Which is not even. As a matter of fact, we're shooting this during the time that the taste is out. So, mind you, the craze is that's roughly, that's just about right. Yeah. November, yeah. And so, you know, it's just like weird, and trying to deal with the whole process of like, okay, camera right here, camera right here, camera right behind me. And I'm like trying to talk and like trying to get into it. Was hard the first couple of days because I was just like, dang. And then once I think when we got out of the city, I got really more comfortable with it.
Because you were all over Washington.
Yeah, we did like a nice little road trip.
Yeah.
We kind of started in Pike Place, worked our way up north, got up to Everett, Anacortes, and then cut across, took the ferry, went to some islands, to the San Juan Islands, and came all the way back around, ended up in Longview.
Yeah.
You know, then we're back in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
And that was great. That was a nice little circle. I had never done any of that.
Wow.
Everything I had done on there was new, except for, you know, of course, eating at Ivers and beach driving and whatever. But all the other stuff, the skiing, the trying the meat, the gooey duck, like all that stuff, lutefisk, like that's all new. And hosting a show, brand spanking new. Never had done that. Shout out to my homeboy Duncan. May he rest in peace. So when we shot this, the producer of this show, Duncan, you know, we had a team of 5, basically. Zach, Morgan, Duncan, who am I forgetting? Devin, I forget one more. And we basically just became friends for those 14 days, you know what I mean? And Duncan did a lot to help me like get comfortable, you know. So there wasn't anybody I was like, you know, like I wasn't like honing in on it. I was just basically just taking the advice from D and just be like,
run it
and just go with it, you know, because he knew and I knew that this is the first time for Munchies to have someone of color host a show. Very first, right? Nice. So Vice was also trying to figure out how this is gonna. They had no idea how this was gonna pan out. No clue, you know. So he was just like, we don't want to make the show look like the rest of the other ones as a host. So just go out there and just, you know, and handle that. And I just kind of just felt like, you know, even though I'm the host of the show, I'm gonna act like a host, but not act like a host. I want to try to feel like I'm like in the house, you know, like it's the host means I don't dominate the show. The guest dominates the show. Right. And then you just know when to like organically, I just knew when it was time to throw a punchline in. Right. You know what I mean? Like I'm not planning a punchline. I'm not, you know, changing up my demeanor. I mean, I just kept it like, because the thing is, if you sit here and try to go through this whole process of trying to change your whole demeanor, then it gets difficult.
Right, yeah.
That's
right?
not my man.
And that's why I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not what it should be. You know, it should be leave it as organic as possible and just realize, don't act like your life is going to be over because you did this. Yeah. You know, like for me, I was just nervous just to see what cats were just going to think about me, you know, just being on camera. Yeah. But seriously, like Duncan, man, I love him, man. Like straight up, like
he killed that. Y'all killed that.
Man, oh man, that it's just a weird circle about the whole project. Yeah. I had a good time. I seriously want to do it again. Like I really wish. I was so surprised. I mean, seriously, more than anything, I was actually, by the time we got to day 3, because we posted an episode. Of course, when did they post them? The week of my birthday. So they post day 1 on my birthday. Wow. So mind you, I had so many other plans. Like I was planning like to do other stuff. They kept on holding back on the date. And I think they knew my birthday was gonna be on, and they said that, and they did that. Happy birthday. So by the time we got to day 3, I kind of looked at the views, but my friends were like, "Man, you should look at the views, man. People are like bugging, bro." I'm just like, "Hey, man, people are always bugging that they like something, you know." But I was really shocked that people actually really was digging it, like all the way through.
That shit was amazing.
You know, like so, I was like, okay, dope. All right, so what's up? Well, what we doing? You know, like, you know, and then that was it.
Wow.
So I really, you know, I want the opportunity to get at it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that's gonna take. Even maybe it's not even going through Vice. Maybe it's just me creating my own content called Feed the People. Like, seriously.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's literally all it was. Exactly. Trust me. I know you're here. I know. I see you over there. I see you over there.
Okay. All right. We'll marinate on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Feed the People,
Yes, sir.
origin story.
Feed the People. I'm trying to remember where I was or what I was doing. I still don't remember. All I know, somebody told me, man, T-Man, you always feed the people. And, I didn't pay no mind for a minute or so, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, I know. I mean, that's our job, right? Like, you know what I mean? But the more I thought about it, from a community standpoint, not a city or culinary profession in the restaurant industry standpoint. I was looking at it from Columbia City, Central District, Hillman City, you know what I'm saying? People, friends, like, and that's where it kind of like really just, that's where that tagline pretty much stuck with me, and because the thing is, people do know, like, that's pretty much, that's what I do. Like, I seriously, that is really what I do. Like, trust me, I have other little skill sets, and I've dabbled in those, and those are fun, and I can do that. Definitely got the cutting cloth of pops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, the goal was just, I just, that tagline just stuck with me, and now it's funny how very relevant, I guess I could say. That's what I want to say? Like, this tagline is now, like, it's so, like, don't even look at the image on here. Just think about, I think people are really realizing, like, how much feeding is needed, and not only through food, but through healing,
through knowledge, information. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And that's
Feed the People,
and that's why, like, this and this is so funny. This is where I want people to wear this.
Hey, you see me?
I really want them to wear that, because when you wear this, you're wearing this not because of me. You're wearing this because you are playing a role in feeding the people.
Absolutely.
Even if it's not even if it's, you're buying it because you're doing it for me, because I'm out there feeding the people.
Right.
I'll take that.
Absolutely.
I'll take that. But it's great. Seriously, it's been great. And I want people to take that tagline and put it in their own perspective, how they wanted to see that tagline.
What came first?
The chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I guess I need to clarify this.
Yeah.
Like, really clarify it. I come from a family where music was always played. There was never a day that music was always played. There was music always on. Always. And of course, I got into cooking, and a lot of my friends were DJs. Huge fan. Okay. Music plays a vital role in how I go through the day for cooking. Yeah, I can play a little bit, but I leave that to the professionals.
Yeah.
But the name of the tagline, a DJ and a cook, the company name now, is for the two loves that I have, and the respect that I have for both.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, they go hand in hand in my life. And those two, I'm gonna always have those two with me.
Yeah.
And hey, shout out to all the dope DJs out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of y'all out there.
Yeah. Give me the nicknames.
Okay, nicknames. I did not.
AKA.
Okay, Tarik Abdullah, right? Tarik is my middle name. My first name is Mubarak Tarik Abdullah. So Tarik is my middle name.
Okay.
I go by the Spice Man. Everyone knows that because I am the Spice Guy.
AKA.
AKA Cooker T. AKA CTW, Cooker T. Washington. Yeah, and the kids love. It's funny. Whenever I tell kids my nickname is Cooker T, because I only tell the kids that they can call me that, right? They giggle or laugh their tail off. Yeah. So that is a good sign of saying, like, that's a nice name to have.
Absolutely.
It's a great name to have. It's a great nickname, Cooker T. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Cooker T, what's up? Like, not Cooker. No, it's Cooker. You know what I'm saying? Cooker, ER on the end of that with a capital T dot. Bam, bam.
Not a hard ER, just an ER.
That's an ER. You know what I'm saying? Car, not Car T.
Nah, just the ER.
You know?
Morning Star.
Morning Star. Ooh, I get back when I moved back from LA. Of course, I was living out in the U District at the time, and I finally, after I'm with Serafina and everything. I moved before I finished my time at Serafina. I moved down here, and when I moved back down here, I noticed like a couple things. I was like, man, Columbia City's jumping. Geraldine's is just like back to the nines. And I was just like, okay, nobody is doing brunch in Hillman City. Mm-hmm. I am going to clean up. Straight up. I said, I'm going to clean up, right? Yeah. And so I was a bold dude. I just walked up to, me and the owner of Tin Umbrella, Joya Iverson. It was her 1 year anniversary, and I approached her about doing a pop-up, like having breakfast items. She was like, yeah. I set up 2 6-foot tables right outside of the coffee shop, handful of butane burners, some plates, maybe a little mise en place, and literally me cooking and whoever I could get my hands on will run the square. Shoot, there were a couple times where I just did it by myself for like the first hour, cooking and collecting. I did a little over 100 people the first.
Wow.
On the first one, and I knew. All right, there's the start.
Right. Yeah.
There's the start.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And like, I went from a table to basically packing houses.
Yeah.
And there were so many days of just doing nothing too. There was a lot of brunch. Some brunches where it's just like 8 people show up. But then I realized, it's football.
Right. The game's on.
Right. Or the marketing was off. But yeah, when we were jamming though, we were jamming.
That's what's up. As we wrap up, talk about how that transitioned into Midnight Mecca and Black and Tan Hall.
So I pretty much I am the pop-up guy. Everyone knows me as the pop-up guy, and I pretty much had done different versions of the pop-up. Brunch, late night, fine dining. I've done it pretty much every version you could think of under the sun. So.
Wait, so is that another nickname? Pop-up guy?
Pop-up guy. I am the pop-up guy. That's another one. But no, during this whole process, I met, of course, Ben, Hunter, and I were already off and on working together at the Collaboratory. Mm-hmm. And I had met Rodney, from hanging out at the Collaboratory, coming by, this and that. And when he had came by and told us about the building, we were like, whoa, this is crazy. Damn. Basically when Black and Tan Hall kind of came into fruition, people want to know kind of how it happened, but it was kind of like the window was like this much.
Right.
We didn't really have a lot of time to just put it all together because of who knows? Anybody could jump on that. That's a big building. Did a lot of things. So we had to literally. It was okay. Everybody just Ben is just scrambling, getting whatever he can to get together. Right. I mean, all three of us, we play our roles of how we're going to be responsible for putting this thing together. Right. And so we just rallied together and got some friends together, and pretty much say, hey, this is what we want. This is the vision. This is what we want to do. And, we've been working on it, and it's one of those kind of projects where, it does take time if we're wanting to make it be what it needs to be. It can't be something that's overnight. So during this process, while the Black and Tan Hall is forming and coming into play, I decided to start my dining experience, the pop-up. Like I could have brought Morningstar back, but it was kind of weird. I was just like, no, I don't want. We retired Morningstar, so I don't want to bring it back. So I'm like, I'm gonna do dinner. So now I do Midnight Mecca, which is an upscale, anywhere from 5, 6, 7 course dining experience that we do every roughly third weekend of each month. We change the location, we change the theme each month, and roughly 25, 30 guests. You don't get any information until the night before. Yeah, you get to look at the menu, but you have no idea what you're getting into. So you have no idea if you're going to the physical address you're going to. It might not even be the address. You might be going there and getting picked up and go around the corner. So we constantly give folks surprises each dinner.
Yes. I gotta get my coins up.
It's all right.
I'm saving my coins.
There will be Mecca Midnight, which will basically be the hangout version of the dinners. So small bites, everything's like $10-$12 and under.
Okay, I'm there. That's me.
And we'll be down here. But we'll be down here. So this way, I get to see my friends.
I'm already there.
But my bills are still getting paid.
Yeah, I'm already there. You know
what I'm saying? Yeah. And then hopefully one day, the homies will just, save their money up for December. And instead of getting their lady something for actually Christmas.
Yeah.
Just
take her to a nice dinner.
Take her to the Midnight Mecca, and we'll just give her the whole thing.
There it is.
You know what I mean? Like, hey.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
no, I love it. I love seeing everything.
Exactly.
And then I love seeing how all of it comes together. I love seeing the way that you're connected with the Damon Bomars and the That Brown Girl Cooks, Christy Brown, and all of that connected is super dope. Super duper dope. How can the folks who are listening to this podcast support this mission that you started years ago to feed the people, travel, cook, and teach the kids?
First off, you need to go ahead and give me that $1 billion that I really do need.
Make all checks out to
Pop-Up Guy. That's
Cooker T,
Washington. CTW. That's right.
Yes.
No, if you want to find me, cheftarik.com, IG Tarik.Abdullah, or Midnight Mecca on IG. Same with the Facebook, same name.
Absolutely.
A DJ and a cook. If you want to get the t-shirt or a hoodie, holler at your boy. Feed the people.
Thank you.
Oh man, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. That was good. Nice. Thank you. Word.
All right.
If you liked what you heard, be sure to donate so we can keep going. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, so be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment. You have no idea how much it helps. We also want to know what you think. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can even use the hashtag #NoBlueprint. And if you're really down with the movement, you can join our Patreon account and become a patron, where you'll get exclusive content and limited edition merchandise. No Blueprint is powered by Ambassador Stories. We share stories of the people, places, and spaces that bring soul to our communities. No Blueprint is recorded at Ambassador Stories Studios and co-produced with me, Mayowa Aina. Hear more episodes of No Blueprint and get official No Blueprint merchandise at noblueprintpodcast.com.